D-Wade to LeBron James off the glass from Flo Milli to Meg Thee Stallion over Latto's Sunday Service remix. Shout out to Latto for putting her ego in the bag. Like, cool. I don't need to sit here and do no goddamn new verse or nothing. I'm gonna let my girls go crazy. And I want to shout out to Latto because realistically, I feel like Flo Milli needed that look more than anybody on that song. Let's be clear. And when and you know what's up again? Why I sit here?
The best verse on it?
Hell no. I thought she did. Like, if you literally just went off of clips. Just the clips, off the clips that did all the blog pages was posting up, you would have thought Flo Milli had the best verse. Because of course, that nighttime, I seen all the clips, whatever, and I didn't listen to it. I was like, I'm gonna wait. I'll listen to it, Friday when I get into the gym. So I didn't listen to it off the rip. And then when I heard like that little first part, like, and that was the part that they was snipping up for Meg. It was like just the first part. It was just like the little first part. She coming, walking into the flow, and it kind of at that point I was like, damn, Flo Milli might have the best verse. And until when Meg picked it up on that second verse, I said, holy Jesus! I took my headphones off, like, oh, Meg is out of her body right now, going absolutely insane. That was one of them, Joseph. You want to put that into the NBA verbiage? That was literally vets versus rookies. I'm not gonna lie, like I said, but that still was a good look for Flo Milli. Because let's be clear, Flo Milli went absolutely crazy. I don't necessarily know if there's another female outside of Meg Thee Stallion who would have been able to rap beside Flo Milli and keep up and not get embarrassed. Anybody, any other woman? I mean, of course, excluding Nicki Minaj
and Cardi.
Nah, Cardi wouldn't have been able to keep up with that one, dog.
You don't think?
Hell no. She would have.
On the features, Cardi.
I get it. On the features, she go crazy, but that Flo Milli was rapping at a very high elite level. I'm talking about bars, flows. All of that was like top tier. Flo Milli was literally, that was like, if you've been sleeping on Flo Milli, which a lot of people do, because let's be clear, she realistically ain't got is that song that people, of course, like leading into her new album, people like when and she did the remix and all that. That was cool. But I'm talking about people don't never really put her in that conversation that she should be put in. Realistically, she should be put in more of and I think sometimes, of course, because I didn't even know, like, even when I seen her when they was, of course, originally putting up like the behind the scene footage when they was recording the video, and it was Glorilla, Meg and Latto, and they was twerking, and Latto was like, nah, you get in this video too, whatever case may be. Nah, come on. I didn't even know that was Flo Milli. Because like sometimes like some of her videos, because they be so animated, you don't really get to see how pretty she actually is. So even seeing her in that joint, I'm like in the backstage, I'm like, damn, Flo Milli actually look good for real. Like she got a nice body, she got a pretty face. Like you couldn't, because sometimes, like I said, you can do a lot. Like when she got a lot of her videos, it'd be like the colorful hair and all that other stuff. It can kind of just like throw you for a loop and you really not paying attention, but you kind of really get to see her. Like she was just dressed down, like she just had like a tank top on or something. And sometimes for women, that can be your best advantage where I'm not doing too much. And you really can just get to see my natural beauty. You got to see Flo Milli. And I was like, damn, she actually looked good. So for her to look good, niggas to get to see her in that form and her just turning up with the girls. And I think when you in that setting, it makes the fans and everybody else kind of look like, oh, she belongs here. Mm-hmm. She's not an outcast, because you really don't see, when you don't see that type of camaraderie on the regular, because you see that type of camaraderie on the regular from like Meg and Glow, or from Latto and Glow, or Cardi and Glow, whatever the case may be. So you kind of really don't get to see Flo Milli in that group with those girls. So when you get to see her in that group and you also actually get to see her execute rapping at a high level, I was like, bro, that's a huge good look for her. But let's be clear, I was happy that Meg didn't just let her wash her up neither, because Meg came in that joint and did exactly what Meg Thee Stallion was supposed to do. That when that second flow kicked in, I was like, oh my God, Meg is literally rapping out her body. So if y'all haven't heard Sunday Service, the remix, you got to go listen to it. If you haven't heard it yet, I don't know what you're doing. You got to go listen to it. And then, of course, just like I said, talking about that behind the scene footage, you got to see Glorilla have basically damn near like a dance off with Latto. And you just got to see the silly side, because it wasn't nothing like Latto was just twerking, but Glow was doing all the old school Dougies and all of that. Like they were just having a good time. And I think for the female rappers, you kind of almost need to see that type of camaraderie, because you kind of feel like it's always some friendly competition, and you never really, and I'm sure it's all of them
forced. The friendship
don't look forced. It looked like they literally just genuinely in there having a good time, like they having fun. They just kick in. I can't believe I didn't. Matter of fact, because we're here, I do want to lean into that Billboard, and I sometimes you hate talking about lists, but it was kind of just, to me, it was just out of pocket. I ain't gonna hold you. That, for people who don't know what we're talking about, Billboard put out a top 10s hottest female rapper list. And I do kind of want to get into it just to sit here and give my opinion on, excuse me, I think the 10 was cool. The 10 that was on the list was actually cool. I just think it just realistically, just the order. That's it. Just the order needed to be moved around just a tad bit. I can't believe I already had this song saved, but I didn't. I know for a fact off the top of my head, it was Nicki Minaj was what, number one, and which I feel like at this point you kind of cannot argue that one. Nicki being number one. Sexy Red being number 2. And of course, remember, we talking about hottest. I don't necessarily know if I can argue that neither, with Sexy Red being number 2. I believe Meg Thee Stallion was number 3. Give me 1 second so I can read it absolutely off instead of trying to memorize it off the top of my head. Here you go. Nicki Minaj was number 1. Sexy Red was number 2. Meg Thee Stallion was number 3. Doja Cat was number 4. Ice Spice was number 5. Glorilla was number 6. Number 7 was Cardi B. Number 8 was Latto. Number 9 was JT. And number 10 was Flo Milli. So the only change around for me would have to be after 4. I don't feel like Doja Cat should be number 4 because when you use the word hottest, it's like hottest where? Because let's not act like Doja Cat had like some crazy numbers when she put out her album or whatever the case may be. So that's, to me, I'm not counting that. And then it's just like, really, where is the place you feel like you'll hear a bunch of Doja Cat music being played? Because I feel like Doja Cat kind of more floats around in that white space than she actually floats around. Like, even when we talk about the camaraderie of the other female rappers, like, I don't feel like somebody who's saying, just even when you said it last week, somebody listening to Doja Cat going to know who Method Man is or something like that. So I do honestly still feel that kind of same way when we talking about Doja Cat hottest rappers list. I'm thinking, when you say hottest female rappers, I'm thinking, what do black people listen to? What is the hood listening to? What are people playing on their gym playlist, or what are they playing in the club? Who got the most spins in the club? That case may be. I'm not necessarily sitting here saying, oh, who do concerts, whatever. Like I said, leave Nicki at number 1. I'm cool. I don't never want to argue that one because I feel like Nicki has solidified herself as the queen of rap until proven otherwise, because she do the album sales, she do the she got the song. Every time you watch a NBA during the NBA finals or any of the sporting events with the Gatorade commercial, that literally Gatorade and burnt that goddamn song to the ground. So you can't knock none of that. So Nicki being number 1, cool. We talked about Sexy Red last week doing the WWE stuff. So I do want to give credit to those things. Even being on songs with Chief Keef, Drake, and this, that, and the third, where it's like, all right, cool. Sexy Red is kind of doing her runaround. But I could almost argue, I would put number 3 to me would be Glorilla. I'm not mad if you want to leave Meg right there, but I can honestly sit here and say I can move Meg and put Glow at number 3. And if I put Glow at number 3, I'm going to have to put either Cardi or Latto at 5, because I'm only going to move Meg down 1. So if I put Glow at 3, I put Meg at 4. I can go Cardi B at number 5, and I can go Latto at 6, and then I can put Ice Spice at 7.
But can you put Ice Spice over Doja? Because I feel like both of them the same. But I feel like Doja putting out more product and put out recent work. So I can't see that.
To me, to be honest, I feel like Ice Spice is on the decline, realistically. But I'm saying, if we're gonna throw in commercials for Nicki, you kind of almost got to throw in the commercials for Ice Spice,
and that's fine. But that's why I say I kind of still want to keep I would keep Doja in it, because at least Doja is putting out music.
So okay, so if you was doing an order, what would you say and say? So you cool with 1 being Nicki, right?
Okay.
2 being Sexy Red.
Okay.
I say 3 Cardi. I mean, not Cardi, but Glorilla.
Okay.
4 I go Meg.
Okay.
5 I will go Cardi.
Right.
6 I will go Latto. Then 7 you saying Ice Spice. 8 Doja Cat, and then I'm cool with 9. And to be honest, right now, if we going right now, what is today's date? June 10th? I would go JT before I go Doja Cat and Ice Spice. Because Ice Spice last 2 songs been pure doo-doo.
See, that's where I will put. If anybody's going to be at the bottom, it will be Ice Spice.
Okay, so we
just talking about hot and irrelevant and all that. Ice Spice is definitely at the bottom of it.
So you see, he said, okay, so let's run it down real quick. So you saying Ice Spice should be number 10? I'm cool with that. If you said Ice Spice should be number 10, so are you saying Doja Cat? So we'll move Flo Milli up to 9 and then have Doja Cat at 8. So we're going, number 1 will be Nicki Minaj, number 2 Sexy Red, number 3 Glorilla, number 4 will be Meg, 5 will be Cardi, 6 will be Latto, and you're saying 7. We said 7 JT, 8 Doja Cat, 9 Flo Milli, and 10 Ice Spice.
Yeah, I still think I'll put Doja over JT. JT just caught a leg with that one song. She did put out the other song. It wasn't. Because that's what I'm saying. Because the Doja Cat is still headline show, you know what I'm saying, festivals and stuff like that. So I feel like she still has.
So okay, so
you I can't just keep bumping her down because she still is irrelevant.
Okay.
And she's still doing shows, so I still got to keep her up there. And
so you saying so she should at least still be 8, 9,
8, 7, what
8? Okay, so we said Nicki. So let's just real quick, just run it back down one more. Nicki 1, Sexy Red 2, Glorilla 3, Meg 4, Cardi Cardi 5, Latto 6. So 7 would be Doja Cat. 8 JT, and 9 Flo Milli, and 10 Ice Spice.
Yeah, that's a.
And you, to be honest, you probably could realistically now after that freestyle, I may be able to over JT. So JT could be 8, Ice Spice at 10, Flo Milli at Flo Milli at 8, and JT at Flo Milli at 8, JT is at 9, and Ice Spice at 10. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I'm not mad with that order. I'm not mad at that order at all. Excuse me. What else came out this week? Oh yeah, Tim's. I do want to talk about Tim's real quick. Tim's did put out a strong, solid body of work. My favorite songs off this Tim's project, realistically, is, let me tell you the ones that I like the most. Give me 1 second. It is Wickedness, of course, the Love Me JJ, or I don't know how you pronounce it because I feel like that's like some African stuff. But of course, that's a single that's out, and then it's the Get Right Jump. That's number 6. So it's my favorite song, my favorite jump will of course be the Love Me jump. That's number 5. My second favorite would be the Get Right. That's number 6. And number 4 would be my third on that one. I like what is it? Unfortunate. I like that one. Don't get it twisted. I feel like after a while, the songs kind of sound the same a little bit. Like it kind of just stayed in that vibe and that pocket that she was in. But the standouts, my 3 standout songs would, of course, would be Wickedness, Love Me, and Get Right. And Get Right was my favorite one out of all of them. And then the Love Me, Joan, the Wickedness. Like I said, it's a good project. It's a solid project. But I'm just saying those were the 3 songs that stand out to me. But literally, if you like Tim's and that sound that she brings, it's literally that whole entire album stays in that pocket. Like she don't go too far away from like kind of what's her pocket. Like that's just who she is, that sound. And and I'm not mad at her because I think this is like even one of the interludes on the project, it kind of talked about like you ain't even got a real, full body of workout. So I'm not mad at her for not going too far away from the sound that actually got her popular, because realistically, she's still kind of new. She even, like I said, she even talked about it on the album. Like, yeah, I do got this one huge song that people know me for, but I still don't have a lot of body of work. So it's almost kind of like if we was talking about like The Baby or any of those rappers where they kind of stay in their pocket for the first, like, of course, now The Baby didn't put out endless projects. So it's kind of like, all right, dog, you didn't put out endless projects. You didn't kind of solidified your name. You can kind of get over it. You still hanging on, hanging on to that sound. You don't necessarily need to. But for her, it's still like, I'm still new. Like I got songs that but I don't have a full project, a full body of work that people are familiar with. So like I said, I'm not mad at her for not, keeping it. She got, how many songs on here? It is 18 songs, is 2 interludes, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2. So it's basically 16 songs. I like the project. Like I said, from beginning to end, it's a solid project. I don't feel like it's no skips. But like I said, again, after a while, it's almost like Gunna. It's like you sticking to what's working. You're not sitting here like, I'm not going to sit here and get away from what's working. Of course, I think the biggest feature she had on there was J. Cole. And I'm sure probably to a lot of people that's kind of surprising, because I wouldn't have mind seeing like a Drake feature on there, because her and Drake do sound so good together, or her and another jump with Future. And I guess, realistically, if we do believe in any of the backstories that we heard, how they got the song cleared for Wait For You, you probably realistically kind of knew that you wasn't going to get a Future song on there. But like I said, it was a good jump to listen to. Yeah, that was, to me, those was the 2 biggest things that I listened to realistically over the weekend, was that Tim's album and, of course, the Latto, Meg, and Flo Milli jump. What else? Was there any other news in music? Oh, I believe, yeah, I can get into that. Basically, of course, for people who may not know, Gucci Mane's wife has her own podcast she started, basically kind of almost like a YouTube form of show, and she had JT on there, and they basically was talking about the diss song, why she didn't respond to Sexy Red. Oh, and matter of fact, and Sukihana even made a jump why she did Math Alpha project.
She talks.
Yeah, she talks.
What's going on right now?
Honestly, I just, the people were that she had a song that she dropped, which I do love, by the way. Mm-hmm. But it was a line in it that said a bitch broke her tooth on a crab leg. So the internet kind of went to a frenzy and was trying to figure out who was she talking about, because it was very detailed. And I'm one of the people that proudly went live and said, I broke my tooth on a crab leg.
Yeah.
But then we also had Cardi that broke her tooth on a bagel. So the people were tagging me and Cardi a lot, all in the comments, like the whole song, just me and Cardi.
Right.
So when I came home, I seen it and I finally said something. The people keep bothering me. It was Suki, this about you, this about you. So I publicly asked her, you feel me?
Right.
Who is it about? I don't feel like it's about me, but I would appreciate you if you just tell them that it's not about me so I don't be connected to it, you feel me?
Right.
But she did it, you know, and
she did what?
She didn't clarify.
She didn't clarify.
Well, she doesn't have to. That's not. She don't have to. Honestly, well, me, if somebody asks me to clarify something, I'm gonna clarify. If it's me, I'm a very directed person. So if I got something for you, it's going straight to you with your name on it in a present, like it's yours.
Right.
So I personally don't feel no type of way that she didn't say who it was about, but at the end of the day, if the shoe fit for me, I'm wearing it. I take accountability for everything I do. So if it fit my foot, I don't give a fuck who it was for. If it fit my foot, I'm gonna wear it.
Right.
So that's just how that went. And you know, I didn't really want to do the internet thing because like people know me for roasting people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I feel like I'm a new artist and I got a lot to prove. I'm a big hip hop fan, so I felt like all that back and forth shit, I could roast you right here. But if I roast you right here, then roast you in this song, they gonna say, I already did that online. I already said everything. So I just kept it to myself. I was at Rick Ross's birthday, Rick Ross's sister birthday party.
Right.
That's when I found out like, oh, it's getting real. So I flew straight from the club home, got straight in the studio, just put it in my music, you know, how I felt. And that's it. I just feel like with it.
I mean, of course, her response was taking extremely long, but she basically said she got to it. She basically, of course, I mean, we all kind of know the backstory by now. If you've seen it, I thought I sent myself the clip of that, but I didn't. But like I said, I'm not mad at her response. But I guess realistically, before we get out of the women's conversation, it was a video of Scarlett. Scarlett put out a new song, like she was teasing the song, and she was in some booty shorts. I ain't gonna lie, Scarlett kind of dragging that wagon, but that is not, and we talk about this all the time, we're talking about imaging and marketing, and everybody was going crazy and very upset with Scarlett because they was like, bro, this is not who you are. And like people fell in love. The very first song that people know from Scarlett was This Is New York, Get the Fuck Out of My Face. This is New York, Don't Say Good Morning to Me, or whatever. It was a very aggressive, strong, masculine sounding song from a woman. And y'all know for me, like I get excited when you hear, that's why I like Asian Doll, because she is a pretty girl, but she rap extremely gangster. Asian Doll might rap more gangster than a lot of dudes. So even to hear that same aggressiveness from Scarlett, and people was comparing her to DMX. Though we talked about that, what was that, last year when Swiss Beats put out that little EP project, and we was like, no, she had one of the best verses on the EP. Outside of Lil Durk verse, her verse was one of the best verses on that EP. So and I understand, and I maybe talk about it most of the time we talk about podcasting or something, like you can listen to what I'm saying. You can go for what's hot on the algorithm and what's the clickbait thing, but most people can see this is not who you are. And that's what everybody in the comments was saying about her. It's like, dog, people know you can rap and people like you for that. It may not get you to where you want to go faster, but if you stay consistent in that lane, the people who like you for that are going to like you for that. But people can see when you're trying to force something else that nobody else don't like, dog. It just looked crazy, like, because that's just not her swag. So she didn't even know how to twerk. Like, she looked so bad, it almost looked like a white girl trying to twerk. That's how bad it looked like. And don't get it twisted, she is fat. Like I said, I did not know that she had that much ass back there. Like, she had some cheeks hanging out them shorts, but it just looked crazy. Like, bro, she had some big stupid Air Force Ones on. She was trying to twerk and it just looked super cringy. And it was just like, and the song was wild aggressive. Like, bro, this song is too aggressive for you to even be trying to twerk to. Like, this is stupid. This don't even make sense. And then she sampled like what was that? It was like was it Whoop That Trick? Yeah. Like, how do you sample Whoop That Trick and don't got Glorilla on it? That's a Memphis thing. You should not touch Whoop That Trick without a Memphis rapper on it with you, especially not with Glorilla being the hottest thing coming out of Memphis right now. So all of that kind of, it's just like, yo, your team set you up for failure. And I think a lot of people be having too many yes men around you, or too many people just trying to pull you in too many directions, and you don't have no real identity. Like, that was one of the only times I go into some of them comment sections and I be like, I agree with every woman on here on a hip hop topic, because this was the God honest truth. It was like, bro, this is not her. Why are you doing this? And you can see her keep like, if you follow, I follow her on TikTok, and you can see her always consistently trying to find something to stick, but sometimes you try too hard. Like what worked for you was rapping aggressive. Just keep rapping aggressive. Even if you just got to constantly just keep putting out freestyles. Like, bro, that's one of the easiest things to do is to just rap, dog. If you are a rapper, rap. Something is going to eventually catch. People going to like something, or people going to notice it. Like, dog, Lady London don't do. Let's be clear. Lady London is way more feminine than Scarlett. Like, she's a sexy lady. She has sex appeal. She don't have to oversell it. But she just rap. She don't get it twisted. She put out a lot of beautiful pictures, know how to do all the thirst trap shit too, but that shit comes effortless to her. When people see that, you just see a pretty girl just being a pretty girl. You don't sit here and look at Lady London and be like, oh, she's trying to force something. No, she's just a beautiful woman on social media, but she can rap her ass off. And people be super excited. Like, oh no, this super pretty girl who don't do, like, she just do like what most women do. Like, I'm in my everyday clothes. And okay, maybe I'm on vacation. I'm gonna give you a little thirst trap. I know how to squeeze my boobs together because they're not too crazy. Like, I know how to play the algorithm game, but I'm not about to over sexualize myself where you don't respect my bars. And I think even when we talk about just tying that into Sukihana as well, it's like, if Sukihana really want people to take her serious, because that was basically, I can't find the JT jump, but that was basically what JT said in her interview on